central London. 6 years ago, I think, I spoke at one of these events, and I talked about our aspiration to have Southwark recognised as part of central London, pulling the heart of our city centre down into down south of the river. And I think, you know, I'm cautious of having a banner saying "Mission Accomplished" behind me, because sometimes things like that go wrong. But I think Southwark is increasingly recognised as being in the heart of central London. What we're doing in Southwark is informed by a very clear vision that we have for our council and our area. And those are the 6 key themes: quality affordable homes, best start in life, strong local economy, healthy active lives, cleaner, greener, safer, and revitalised neighbourhoods. And I suppose you could say, well, yeah, lots of councils have those kind of themes in their council plans. The difference I like to think is we deliver under those headings, and we have in the past and will continue to do so. Just on housing, we were discussing housing at our council assembly last night. Just shy of 9,000 new homes have been built in Southwark in the last 4 years, four-ish years, of which 37% affordable housing. Not a bad record at a time when we're coming out of a recession. Maybe we're going into another one, who knows. Delivering our council plan, these are some of the things that make up those 6 key themes. Why am I telling you? Well, because our approach to regeneration and development, informed by those key themes and informed by delivering on those key pledges, and some really important ones in there for us: apprenticeships and scholarships. 2,000 new apprenticeships we're committed to delivering across the borough. That very much feeds in with the development agenda, making sure that local residents have the skills to take advantage of the opportunities that are being created in our borough. And free swim and gym, which leads me very neatly to the Castle Leisure Centre, just across the road. We're in the heart of the Elephant and Castle regeneration area here this morning, and just last month we opened the Castle Leisure Centre. A council opening a leisure centre at this time, you're bemused, you're wondering how on earth is this possible? What is the wonderful ingredient that Southwark has? What is their magic that makes it happen? And well, you know, it's, as I say, I think, having a very clear vision of what we want to achieve and delivering it. And from the end of this month, all residents in Southwark are going to be able to enjoy the use of the swimming pool and gym at the Castle Leisure Centre, and indeed all of our leisure centres for free on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. The leisure centre is just one aspect, obviously, of the changes that we're bringing to our borough. It's not just about housing, it's not just about office space, it's about those very valuable community facilities as well. And look at this, amazing. Not only has he just showed us a picture of the Council Leisure Centre, he's showing us a picture of Camberwell Library. It's not true. It is really opening libraries when others not so far away seem to be closing them. Is this possible? Yes, it is. It is. And again, that's a question of us delivering on our very clear priorities. We all know libraries are far more than just a place where you might go and borrow a book. It's places where people go and study after school. It's where people go and fill in job application forms online and get all sorts of help in their daily lives. And we're seeing thousands and thousands of users going through Camberwell Library since it opened about 6 months ago. Just think of Canada Water Library, our real flagship, up in the northeast of the borough, where within 2 years I think we had 1 million visits to that library. We're doing more as well because we're investing as we need to deal with the shortage of school places in our primary school programme. This is just looking at Southwark Park School, where we have invested millions. Part of £150 million we've invested as a council from our capital programme. Some of that money coming from the Education Funding Agency, but a lot having to come from our own pockets. And that obviously reflects the increased population. New housing means more infrastructure requirements, means more schools, medical facilities, etc. And that's a great example of one of the new schools that we are delivering. Secondary school programme also underway, most recently charter school in East Dulwich, which will be on the old Dulwich Hospital site, which is getting underway, where we are making a pretty significant financial contribution to that build, even though it's effectively a preschool. Nunhead Community Centre, this is a great example of something which, there's a pretty run-down community centre in Nunhead, but where we found a very neat funding solution to provide a brand new community centre, which is incredibly well used now, as well as delivering some new housing. So it felt very much an innovative way of dealing with two demands. One, to increase housing, get some family homes onto that site, as well as, as I say, that truly magical community centre. One of our big commitments is to deliver 11,000 new council homes by 2043. 30-year period from when we began in 2013. It remains, much to my surprise, I have to say, still the largest commitment that any council has made anywhere in the country to the delivery of new council housing. I thought when we announced it, we'd get into a bidding war, and other cities would want to, oh well, we'll do 20, which would be fantastic. But that hasn't been the case, and much more modest figures have been coming out. Liverpool, I think, made an announcement about 10,000 new homes, but that's homes of all kinds, of all tenures, over a period of time this week. Our 11,000 council homes, 1,500 of them to be delivered by the end of 2018. A tall order, which we're finding taller as time goes on. People want council housing until you say, well, should we put it over there? No, there's not been enough consultation. Oh, we might be it's quite tough, but it's something we're absolutely determined to deliver on. And this is some of the first new council housing that we delivered. Willow Walk, SE1. I suppose within the Old Kent Road opportunity area now. And it comprises 75 new homes. Importantly for us, 51 of those are temporary accommodation, in common with all London councils we're suffering in terms of being overburdened with those who are homeless in temporary accommodation. So this is 51 temporary housing units, 54 rather, and 21 general needs homes. And by the end of this summer, we'll have delivered 350 of the 1,500, with lots more in the pipeline. What's the offer to young people apart from schools? Well, this is our Southwark BMX track at Burgess Park. Some award-winning BMXers there. I think one narrowly missed out on the Olympics this year, and there's a bit of a fuffle about that. But it's a truly great facility. And that was money we put aside at around about the time of the Olympics to create an Olympic legacy for our borough. And so the BMX track there at Burgess Park, I think one of the international quality BMX track. If you haven't used it, please do. I think all ages are welcome. I don't think it's on any of the tours this afternoon, is it? No? Here we are. What struck me, I should say, as I walked across, I got the 188 bus down and just got off at just outside the Coronet and walked over here. The quality of public realm in this part of the world is improving rapidly and dramatically for the better around the Elephant and Castle. And that commitment to public realm is really at the heart of a lot of what we are doing. This is actually Blackfriars and Cycle Superhighway, but it's an example, I think, of where public realm we're really investing, working with our colleagues at TfL and GLA to improve the public realm around our part of the world. And I should mention, as we mentioned the Elephant and Castle, I didn't right at the start, I should have. Obviously, Elephant and Castle, major strategic regeneration opportunity for us here in the Borough. And I was delighted, really thrilled to read this morning that Trafalgar Place, which is the first phase of new housing being built by Lend-Lease, is now shortlisted for Sterling Prize. And I hope that that's not met with brickbats. Oh, that's terrible. This is absolutely high quality housing, highest quality public realm, and I think it deserves all the accolades that it receives, and I hope it will be the ultimate winner. Cycle Superhighway, though, changing the way people are getting around our borough and through our borough. I talked earlier on about how it's really important for us to ensure that local people are benefiting from the opportunities that we're creating, and the Construction Skills Centre is one of those. Again, working with our partners at Lend-Lease, but open to all, and I know that other developers are taking advantage of it. This is a brand new facility, in response, I suppose, to the failure of the FE sector to fill this gap adequately for us in the borough. There's a construction skills centre which is going to be teaching residents from our borough modern construction skills techniques, which they